Lin Yun suddenly grabbed his head, his face contorted with pain as memories flooded back. Time seemed to slow, stretching the few seconds into hours. When he opened his eyes, he began to regain his composure, realizing he had not died but transmigrated. He had arrived in the world of profound amber, inhabiting the body of a 16-year-old sword slave from the frontier of the Aquasky nation. This sword slave was also named Lin Yun. After their memories merged, he discovered that this Lin Yun had failed to become an official disciple of the sect due to lack of talent. Consequently, he was relegated to menial labor within the inner sect, primarily responsible for maintaining the swords of inner disciples and elders. Fortunately, not everyone in the Azure Sky sect focused on swords, allowing him some free time to cultivate. In this world, strength commanded respect, making cultivation opportunities rare for sword slaves. The Azure Sky sect's rules stated that sword slaves could be promoted to official disciples by achieving results in their cultivation. This goal motivated Lin Yun, serving as his sole reason for remaining in the sect as a slave. Despite his efforts, 3 years of cultivation had only brought the previous owner of this body to the second stage of the martial path, unable to advance to the third. The sect required reaching the third stage to become an official disciple, and although he was close, it seemed unattainable. Lin Yun recognized the limitations imposed on sword slaves regarding time and resources for cultivation, and he saw no hope for the previous owner. Determined, Lin Yun resolved to live well in this new life and make his name known throughout the 4 seas. His quick adaptation and goal-setting surprised even himself, perhaps due to his past life as a talented lawyer with a retentive memory and unshaken composure under any circumstance. Taking the pose of the ferocious tiger fist, Lin Yun began to perform the technique. Though formidable in name, the ferocious tiger fist was mediocre among foundation techniques within the Azure Sky sect. Many techniques surpassed it, but as a sword slave, this was the best available to him. Without official disciple status, he received no resources from the sect. Foundation techniques in the martial path's 10 stages served to strengthen the body. The first 3 stages fortified skin, bones, and meridians. The next 3 strengthened blood and internal organs. The following 3 transformed muscles, bones, and marrow before the ultimate 10th stage. The ferocious tiger fist was designed to strengthen the body, laying the foundation for future cultivation. As Lin Yun's fists swished through the air, scattering fallen leaves, he fell into a rhythm that brought him inner peace. Practicing the ferocious tiger fist today felt easier than before. Previously, he had only followed the forms without comprehension, lacking intent. Today, every punch was accompanied by a heat flowing through his body, instantly allowing him to understand the technique. The ferocious tiger fist comprised 18 forms, the first 15 for strengthening the body, the last 3 for battle. Mastery required a certain level of comprehension. The last 3 forms, tiger roaring in the forest, ferocious tiger descending the mountains, and 100-beast wave, held the essence of the technique. Lin Yun had never performed these before. Even the first 15 forms had only been practiced at an amateur level. In moments, Lin Yun completed the first 15 forms and felt a warm current channeling through his body. His eyes grew solemn as he embraced the heat enveloping him. The technique flashed through his mind as he executed the 16th form, tiger roaring in the forest. He roared, thrusting his fist forward as a wave of heat surged through his body and concentrated in his fist. An image of a ferocious tiger appeared behind him, unleashing a wild howl. His bones crackled loudly, echoing like a tiger's roar. A violent gale swept fallen leaves into the air, tearing them apart. The heat continued coursing through him, bringing a sense of peace. Lin Yun realized his internal energy, the crackling bones, and the heat signaled his breakthrough from the second to the third stage of the martial path. Withdrawing his fist, he smiled, surprised to have reached the third stage while practicing the ferocious tiger fist. He wondered why comprehension had come so suddenly, having been stuck at the second stage for over a year. He concluded it was due to his soul, a genius lawyer from his previous life with exceptional memory and intelligence, merging with the sword slave's body, elevating his understanding. He acknowledged that this world allowed his wisdom and intelligence to shine. now qualified to become an outer disciple of the Azure Sky sect. His life as a sword slave was over. Suddenly remembering something, Lin Yun rushed back into the wooden house to search. In a corner, he found a treasured sword soaking in icy water. Without hesitation, Lin Yun reached for the sword, his right hand turning pale from the cold metal. In the water's reflection, he saw a purple rhombus mark on his forehead, the eternal mark left on anyone who had been a slave for at least a day. Grimacing, he pushed the thought aside, took the sword, and swiftly headed to the sword-cleaning chamber. Although the sword did not belong to him, an inner disciple had tasked him with its maintenance, as all swords required upkeep to prolong their lifespan. Lin Yun's exceptional sword maintenance skills were the reason he was allowed his own home despite being a sword slave. Noticing the time, Lin Yun realized he was 2 hours late delivering the sword, having lost track while practicing the ferocious tiger fist. He felt vexed, knowing the Azure Sky sect's strict hierarchy left no room for offenses from someone in his position. Severe consequences, even death, awaited those who crossed the wrong people. In the corner of the sword-cleaning chamber, 3 people gathered. When Lin Yun entered, a skinny man spoke up, addressing the girl standing opposite him and the boy beside her. The girl, Su Ziao, wore an azure robe that accentuated her graceful figure, her ethereal presence commanding attention. Lin Yun recognized her as the inner disciple he had once admired. The skinny man scolded Lin Yun for being late, mentioning that Su Ziao had waited 15 minutes. Su Ziao, with a blank expression, simply requested the sword. Lin Yun handed it over, relieved that she did not press the issue. She wiped the sword with her handkerchief, then drew it out half an inch, emitting a cold gleam before she swiftly sheathed it again in a flash of blue light. She commented that it was not bad. Holding the sword contentedly, Su Ziao tossed a jade bottle to Lin Yun's feet. The boy sneered, mocking Lin Yun for not picking it up or thanking her. He implied that Lin Yun was lucky to receive the reward despite his tardiness, and the boy's disdain was echoed by the other odd-job workers nearby. They ridiculed Lin Yun for remaining a slave and failing to reach the 3rd stage of the martial path within 2 years, suggesting he was wasting the resources given to him. Unfazed, Lin Yun examined the jade bottle. When the skinny man tried to grab it, Lin Yun kicked the hand away, catching the bottle as it rose. The man, Zhou Ping, an outer disciple in the 4th stage of the martial path and manager of the sword-cleaning chamber, due to his father's status, roared in anger. Zhou Ping had bullied Lin Yun before, often taking his rewards, but Lin Yun, now at the 3rd stage of the martial path and no longer fearful, tightened his grip on the bottle and began to leave. Zhou Ping shouted for him to stop and, needing to save face before the onlookers, leaped into the air with palms spread, his aura surging as he prepared to strike with the eagle palm art, a powerful technique capable of immense damage. The odd-job workers gathered, anticipating Lin Yun's defeat, recalling past incidents where he had been beaten into submission. Sensing the attack, Lin Yun recalled the ferocious tiger fist and turned to counter with a jab, a tiger's image howling behind him in a fluid motion. Zhou Ping soared like an eagle, eyes sharp and focused. Lin Yun hesitated briefly, causing his aura to falter, and failed to fully unleash the technique's power. Their fists collided with an explosive impact, forcing Lin Yun to retreat 3 steps while struggling to maintain control. The onlookers were shocked that Lin Yun had blocked the strike at all. Zhou Ping, surprised, acknowledged Lin Yun's improvement. Lin Yun understood that, despite his recent advancement to the 3rd stage and lack of formal internal energy cultivation or combat experience, he had held his ground. His confidence soared. Zhou Ping was no longer a threat. Zhou Ping roared that Lin Yun was naive if he thought he could dance in front of him with such strength, then dove at Lin Yun again, his arms spread like an eagle. His oppressive aura forced Lin Yun to take another step back, but Lin Yun remained calm as he shifted backwards, confident from their previous exchange that he had nothing to fear from Zhou Ping, who had many flaws in his form. Contrary to Zhou Ping's expectations, Lin Yun had easily brushed aside most of his strikes after the initial few palms that had caught him by surprise, even sending out some of his own attacks. Zhou Ping was shocked and increased his speed, knowing he had to take Lin Yun down swiftly or lose his dominance in the sword-cleaning chamber. At that moment, Zhou Ping was briefly distracted, and Lin Yun's eyes narrowed as his bones crackled and his aura surged violently. He executed the ferocious tiger fist, tiger roaring in the forest. Zhou Ping was surprised that Lin Yun had made a breakthrough to the third stage of the martial path, something he never expected from a mere sword slave. Taking advantage of Zhou Ping's distraction, Lin Yun jabbed at Zhou Ping's chest with explosive force, sending him flying and kicking up dust as he landed and rolled on the ground, groaning in pain while clutching his broken ribs. The odd job workers watched in disbelief. Reaching the third stage of the martial path allowed one to become an outer disciple of the Azure Sky sect, and suddenly this sword slave stood above them. Lin Yun glanced once more at Zhou Ping before turning and heading for the door without responding. Zhou Ping wanted to pursue him but was held down by the sharp pain in his ribs, only able to punch the ground in frustration. The sword-cleaning chamber, an independent loft and forbidden ground for outer disciples and odd job workers, was meant for maintaining swords of inner disciples, containing exquisite or higher-ranked profound artifacts. Only Lin Yun was qualified to enter, and even Zhou Ping dared not. The odd job workers expressed concern for Zhou Ping's condition and acknowledged Lin Yun's newfound strength, though Zhou Ping dismissed it, claiming Lin Yun only reached the third stage due to senior sister Su's pellets and would never become an outer disciple. Humiliated, Zhou Ping limped away, casting a cold glance at the sword-cleaning chamber, worried that if he lost face, no one would obey him there in the future. The workers debated Lin Yun's future, some believing he was doomed due to Zhou Ping's influential family, others seeing his rise as revenge against Zhou Ping's bullying. Afterward, they returned to maintaining the outer disciples' swords. Inside the sword-cleaning chamber, Lin Yun felt an icy aura emanating from the icy pool, its surface covered with cold mist and dancing ice pieces, with 10 or so swords resting within. Across the pool, an old man sharpened a sword beside various colors of spiritual liquids, skillfully applying them to the sharpening stone. Lin Yun watched silently until the old man finished, then cupped his hands together and informed him that he had reached the third stage of the martial path and would soon leave the sword-cleaning chamber. The old man, Senior Hong, the true master of the chamber who avoided management and allowed Zhou Ping's tyranny, showed brief shock before sighing. He acknowledged Lin Yun's progress, attributing it to the many pellets from Su Ziyao, but warned that reaching Xiantian was only the beginning of a difficult journey that ultimately ended in a dead end. He noted Lin Yun's fate with swords and connection to profound artifacts, offering to introduce him to a profound master outside when he became skilled enough. Lin Yun was confused by Senior Hong's words about profound masters and Xiantian, but sensed the old man's worry and indebtedness to Su Ziyao. He thanked Senior Hong and declared his determination to continue on the martial path despite difficulties, seeking freedom from regrets rather than fame. Senior Hong was surprised by Lin Yun's sincerity and smiled, repeating the phrase, "free from regrets." He congratulated Lin Yun on advancing from sword slave to the third stage of the martial path, calling it a step into the heavens, and expressed gratitude. He then presented Lin Yun with a treasured painting that had long been his prized possession, explaining that it had caused him to become a cripple in his youth and that now, near death, he no longer needed it buried with him. He suggested the painting might be useful to Lin Yun, especially since he trained in the ferocious tiger fist. Senior Hong refused to take no for an answer, shoving the painting into Lin Yun's hand and waving him away, telling him he no longer needed to come to the chamber and warning him not to be led astray once outside. He declared that Lin Yun was no longer Azure Sky sect's sword slave. Senior Hong spoke the last sentence with a heavy tone, shaking Lin Yun to his core. Holding the painting close, Lin Yun bowed before leaving the sword-cleaning chamber. Outside, all the odd job workers looked at Lin Yun with a mix of jealousy and concern, knowing he would never return. With Zhou Ping gone, no one blocked Lin Yun's path. After a final glance, Lin Yun departed, heading to his inconspicuous residence located remotely on Azure Sky Peak. In his room, Lin Yun began recording in his book the details of the 100 body nourishing pellets and 20 blood energy pellets Su Ziyao had given him over 2 years, totaling 300 taels of gold. His talent had allowed him to maintain Su Ziao's sword, and the accumulated rewards explained how the previous owner of his body had reached the third stage of the martial path, despite failing to break through further. The previous owner's memory, though not as sharp as Lin Yun's, retained every detail of interactions with Su Ziao, from rewards to reasons for repairs and even the weather on those days. Lin Yun realized the previous owner was strong-willed but foolish in his infatuation with Su Ziao, whose rewards were merely out of etiquette and indifference. Recalling Su Ziao's expression as she wiped her sword earlier, Lin Yun shook his head and continued writing. After finishing, he gently blew on the brush to dry the ink. Remembering Su Ziao's indifferent gaze and the previous owner's lingering feelings, Lin Yun muttered that when he joined the outer sect and found success, he would repay Su Ziao tenfold on the previous owner's behalf. These words brought him unexpected peace and gratitude, prompting a quiet laugh. He then unfurled the scroll inscribed with the phrase, "Embody the tiger, smell the rose," in a powerful, ancient dialect. From the scroll erupted a ferocious howl as an astral tiger leapt forth. Lin Yun dropped the scroll in panic, raising his arms to defend himself, heart pounding as he struggled to compose himself. He swore he had been attacked by a tiger but saw nothing around him. His gaze returned to the scroll on the ground, and despite his resistance, he knew he had to retrieve it. The painting depicted a pouncing tiger whose mirror image crushed down with intense pressure, freezing time as the tiger came alive again. Lin Yun quickly bound the scroll, unable to bear looking at it further, and grasped his trembling hands. The terrifying pressure and murderous intent of the King of Beasts were unlike anything he had ever experienced. Now he understood why Senior Hong had been so cautious. Suddenly, Lin Yun's eyes lit up as he recalled Senior Hong's words about his training in the ferocious tiger fist and how the painting might be useful to him. He realized Senior Hong had intended for him to use the painting to elevate his ferocious tiger fist, not to figure out the painting's mysteries. Lin Yun reflected on the mastery levels of techniques, initial, lesser, greater, and complete, and how the ferocious tiger fist formed the foundation of all foundational techniques. While initial and lesser mastery could be reached with effort, greater mastery required deep comprehension, and complete mastery was a distant dream that could transform a technique into a lethal weapon. He acknowledged that Zhou Ping's carelessness had led to his loss and that Lin Yun was not yet ready to join the outer sect. He resolved to stabilize his cultivation and attain greater mastery of the ferocious tiger fist before moving forward. Satisfied with his decision, Lin Yun suppressed his fear and unrolled the scroll once more. The familiar pressure descended upon him, and he forced himself to keep his gaze locked on the tiger for 2 seconds before winding the scroll back up. Closing his eyes, Lin Yun let the ferocious tiger from the painting linger in his mind as his eyes sparked with electricity. He began performing the ferocious tiger fist in the center of his home, his fists leaving behind gales flowing smoothly like a gentle river. The tiger's image slowly dissolved as he moved through the technique. By the time he completed the first round, an intense peace enveloped him, and thoughts related to the ferocious tiger fist surged in a flash of synthesis. He had never experienced anything like it before and confirmed Senior Hong's advice. Lin Yun eagerly unfurled the scroll again, managing to gaze at it for 4 seconds this time, twice as long as before, as the tiger in the painting took shape in his heart. In his small wooden hut, Lin Yun felt as if he had opened a window to his soul, practicing the ferocious tiger fist repeatedly, the foundational technique others took for granted. Sweat poured down his body as he persisted despite exhaustion. Each viewing of the scroll revived his fear as if reliving a new trauma, but he persevered. Ferocious tiger descending the mountains. Repeating the sequence 10 times, Lin Yun roared as he executed the second offensive move of the ferocious tiger fist, feeling as though he had transformed into the tiger from the painting, leaping from the ground and nearly touching the roof of the wooden shack. Having conquered the first 2 offensive moves, only the 100-beast wave remained. Lin Yun's eyes shimmered as he recognized the scroll's value. In half a day, he had cultivated what previously would have taken half a year. He believed that, with the scroll's help, he would reach greater mastery quickly. 3 days later, as the sun rose, An intense gale radiated from Lin Yun's silhouette while he unleashed punch after punch. Though still a sword slave and not yet an official outer sect disciple, he planted his feet firmly, his eyes glowing intensely as he halted his onslaught and focused on the internal energy flowing within his body, the energy accessible after achieving the third stage of the martial path. He knew that only after becoming an outer disciple could he obtain the technique to cultivate this internal energy and truly be considered a martial practitioner. Despite lacking formal training, Lin Yun's punches already contained both intent and internal energy. His eyes suddenly shot open, burning with fierce intensity as he shouted the move name, "Tiger roaring in the forest." His bones crackled like a wild tiger's howl as he jabbed forward, producing an explosion and a violent gale that tore through the surroundings. Seizing the momentum, Lin Yun launched himself high into the air, embodying a wild tiger before landing with explosive force. Cracks radiated from where his fist struck the ground, signaling his greater mastery of the ferocious tiger fist. He barely broke a sweat, a drastic improvement from his first attempt. In just 3 days, he had advanced his mastery while stabilizing his cultivation at the third stage of the martial path. Pulling his fist back, Lin Yun stood upright under the sunlight, his face full of vigor as he exhaled gently and spoke softly about his newfound confidence after stabilizing his cultivation and mastering the ferocious tiger fist. Returning to his house to bathe, Lin Yun's gaze caught the slave marking on his forehead in the mirror. Though it did not bother him personally, he knew others would notice. He retrieved a strip of cloth, wrapped it tightly around his head, and crossed the threshold. Half an incense stick's time later, Lin Yun arrived at the administration hall, where the sect distributed techniques and weapons. Many disciples had already gathered. Lin Yun presented his identity plaque to the administrator and requested to become an outer disciple, explaining he had reached the third stage of the martial path. The administrator, an old man from the Yang family with cultivation at the 6th stage, regarded Lin Yun with immense pressure. He recognized Lin Yun as the sword slave known for sword maintenance and acknowledged his talent. The administrator's quiet voice attracted attention, prompting murmurs among the gathered disciples. Some expressed surprise at Lin Yun's progress, while others mocked him, attributing his cultivation to the numerous pellets given by senior sister Su and dismissing his achievements as superficial. The administrator challenged Lin Yun to survive 10 moves from an outer disciple to prove his worth, threatening that failure would send him back to his hovel as a sword slave and a waste of sect resources. The hall grew solemn. Many pitied Lin Yun, fearing humiliation after 2 years of hard work, while others agreed with the administrator's harsh judgment. The challenge seemed cruel, as a third-stage martial path practitioner facing an experienced outer disciple had little chance. Lin Yun stared blankly at the old man, puzzled by the deliberate difficulty. Then, a familiar voice interrupted. Zhou Ping pushed through the crowd with a smirking face, declaring he would take care of Lin Yun, and that if Lin Yun survived 5 moves from him, the remaining 5 would be granted free. Zhou Ping mocked Lin Yun's headband, implying it could not hide the slave mark, and shoved another disciple aside. Everyone understood Zhou Ping sought revenge and had used his status to gain favor from the administrator. Lin Yun found himself alone, as no one wanted to risk trouble for a mere sword slave. Ignoring Zhou Ping's taunts, Lin Yun turned to the administrator and confirmed that the promise stood. Surviving 10 moves from Zhou Ping would grant him outer disciple status. The administrator, surprised by Lin Yun's confidence, affirmed his word but laughed inwardly, considering Lin Yun's challenge against a 4th-stage martial path practitioner audacious. Lin Yun moved to an empty space in the administration hall and stretched out his hand, requesting Zhou Ping to begin. Zhou Ping grinned and declared he would go easy, reiterating that Lin Yun only needed to survive 5 moves before the rest would be free. Before finishing, Zhou Ping launched forward with palms spread, propelled by a gale as he darted around their impromptu arena. In the administration hall, Zhou Ping announced the eagle palm art, lowering his torso and spreading his arms. Observers noted Zhou Ping's familiarity with the technique and anticipated the power he would unleash once airborne. They acknowledged that Zhou Ping was close to mastering the eagle palm art, confirming that his challenge to Lin Yun was no mere generosity. Cultivators in the hall discerned the precision and strength in Zhou Ping's movements, a stark contrast to the untrained workers from the sword-cleaning chamber. Lin Yun locked eyes with Zhou Ping, recognizing the seriousness in his opponent's demeanor compared to their encounter 3 days prior. Lin Yun steadied himself, recalling his training and encounters with the tiger from the painting, preparing to counter Zhou Ping's momentum. Spectators whispered doubts about Lin Yun's chances, expecting him to be overwhelmed by the eagle palm art, especially once Zhou Ping took to the air. Suddenly, Zhou Ping stomped violently, launching himself upward like an arrow, a sinister smile crossing his face as he aimed his talon-like fingers at Lin Yun's head. The hall fell silent in anticipation. Zhou Ping's strike seemed lethal and inescapable. Yet, Lin Yun shifted his right foot back and lowered his body, baffling onlookers who expected a dodge. The administrator's twitching eye signaled recognition of Lin Yun's true intent. Channeling the ferocious tiger fist, tiger roaring in the forest, Lin Yun used his lowered stance as a springboard to launch a jab. Zhou Ping's arm felt as if every bone had been pulverized, and he was struck by a newfound fear. Spectators questioned how Lin Yun could have achieved greater mastery of the ferocious tiger fist in just 3 days, a feat considered difficult even for foundational techniques. Zhou Ping, stunned by the failed one-strike plan, remained vulnerable. Lin Yun advanced with cold determination, launching himself into the air with the ferocious tiger descending the mountains technique. Though not reaching Zhou Ping's height, Lin Yun's ferocity mirrored that of a tiger. Zhou Ping, still airborne and injured, could only watch as Lin Yun's fist collided with his chest, driving him into the ground with a sickening crack as ribs shattered. Lin Yun retracted his fist and steadied his internal energy, leaving the hall in stunned silence. The administrator swept past Lin Yun to inspect Zhou Ping's injuries, then turned to Lin Yun with disdain, declaring him banished from the sect for injuring a peer. Lin Yun, unfazed, reminded the administrator that the ferocious tiger fist was weak against the eagle palm art and that without his full strength, he would have been defeated. The administrator erupted in fury, unable to fathom how Lin Yun dared to speak back, fearing how to explain this to Zhou Ping's father. Tensions escalated until a figure appeared on the top floor, a man dressed entirely in black, radiating suppressive pressure as he assessed the scene. Outer disciples knelt, recognizing him as the administration hall's hall master, one of the few ninth-stage martial path practitioners in the Azure Sky sect. The hall master addressed Administrator Yang, acknowledging his displeasure but affirming that Lin Yun had passed the test. He instructed the administrator to personally prepare an outer sect uniform, cultivation technique, and weapon for Lin Yun as his reward. Administrator Yang stammered his compliance, and the hall master nodded briefly at Lin Yun before departing. The administrator sighed in relief, feeling humiliated to be ordered to serve a sword slave but grateful to avoid formal punishment. He then grunted and led Lin Yun to the second floor. As Lin Yun disappeared up the stairs, the disciples of the Azure Sky sect praised his luck, acknowledging that without the hall master's intervention, he would not have left unscathed. Zhou Ping lay crumpled in a corner, forgotten amidst the excitement, silently cursing as he awaited assistance. The second floor of the administration hall, forbidden to most, housed every technique of the Azure Sky sect. New disciples could ascend only once, selecting one cultivation technique and one martial technique each, with future access earned through merit. Administrator Yang pointed at the shelves, explaining that anyone in the third stage of the martial path could choose from the martial techniques there, while the cultivation techniques were stored on the opposite side. Lin Yun, unfazed by Yang's cold attitude, scanned the shelves eagerly, naming techniques such as Azure Sky Art, Thunder Gale Art, and Aqua Jade Art. Administrator Yang, doubting Lin Yun's understanding, thought that any talented disciple would have sought advice if Lin Yun truly knew what he was choosing. When Lin Yun selected the pure Yang art, Yang was surprised and tried to dissuade him, noting its slow progression and the fact that many had abandoned it. Lin Yun insisted on his choice, prompting Yang to smile and praise his keen eyes, though Lin Yun recognized the insincerity. Having memorized all the cultivation techniques, Lin Yun had analyzed them carefully and believed the pure Yang art's dense internal energy suited long-term progression through the 10 stages of the martial path. Turning to the martial techniques, which were categorized into foundation, intermediate, and advanced ranks, Lin Yun chose an intermediate sword technique called the flowing wind sword, known for its lethality and agility. Administrator Yang warned him that the technique required high comprehension and was challenging even for many inner disciples. But Lin Yun remained confident. Administrator Yang scowled at Lin Yun's impudence and turned away. At the weapons chamber, Yang forced a sword into Lin Yun's hands. Lin Yun examined the azure steel sword, noting its high-quality markings. But as he unsheathed it, the blade shattered, leaving only half intact. Administrator Yang inspected the sword but found no obvious defect, blaming the sword buyer for purchasing shoddy weapons. 3 swords in a row broke as Lin Yun unsheathed them, leading Yang to accuse him of deliberate sabotage. Lin Yun, known for his sword maintenance skills, denied any intention and expressed confusion. Yang refused to let Lin Yun choose another sword and retrieved a rusted blade from a corner, deeming it suitable for an insolent sword slave. He warned Lin Yun to try it at home and that it would be his last sword. If it broke, he was out of luck. Lin Yun accepted the situation, feeling remorse for the broken swords. Before Lin Yun left, Administrator Yang asked again if he wanted to swap the flowing wind sword for another technique. Lin Yun declined, and Yang smirked, confident the choice would prove poor and that Lin Yun would return begging. For hours later, Lin Yun returned to his wooden shack, dressed in his new uniform. A stark white robe with an azure overshirt, a refreshing change from his usual rags. Outside in the clearing, he unsheathed his sword and began practicing the flowing wind sword technique. In just 4 hours, Lin Yun achieved initial mastery, comprehending the technique's foundation fully, an accomplishment that would take an ordinary person half a month. The flowing wind sword included 3 ultimate moves: wind assembling, reflective shadow, and traceless blow, and Lin Yun's progress suggested he would soon reach lesser mastery. Holding the rusted sword, Lin Yun noted its dimensions: 2 fingers wide and 1.1 meters long, with a teal-colored, corroded blade that lacked luster and reflected nothing. When tapped, it responded with a dull thunk, leading Lin Yun to deduce it was made of metallic wood. He recalled that swords could be forged from metals, animal bones, stone, and rare metallic wood, a category of flora comparable in strength to metal, with ancient construct wood being the most famous. Senior Hong had taught Lin Yun sword maintenance and provided a sword compendium cataloging many treasured swords made from flora. Despite this knowledge, Lin Yun could not identify the sword's origin. Its dull appearance and lack of aura suggested it was likely useless, even if forged from precious metals, as metallic wood swords' value relied heavily on appearance and aura. Without maintenance, such swords became worthless. Still, Lin Yun felt relieved the sword had not broken in his hands and resolved to care for it well to extract some use. Sheathing the sword, Lin Yun eagerly took out the pure yang art and prepared to practice the cultivation technique. Recognizing that without cultivating internal energy he could not progress, and that only those who reached the 3rd stage of the martial path could be considered true martial practitioners, he folded his legs and closed his eyes. He focused inward, attempting to circulate internal energy according to the pure yang art, though the process was difficult and initially caused turmoil within his body. As night fell and stars appeared, Lin Yun finally succeeded in cultivating the technique. Entering a profound state, he perceived his 5 viscera and 6 organs through internal vision, a necessary milestone for martial practitioners at his level. Unnoticed by him, an old broken blade with 9 shackles lay within his dantian, extending into darkness. Lin Yun's aptitude, determined by his constitution, was below average, limiting his foundation. To compensate, external aids such as pellets or environments rich in spiritual energy were necessary. However, such prime locations within the Azure Sky sect were already claimed by inner disciples and elders, so his progress in the pure yang art remained slow. Despite this, he had become proficient in the flowing wind sword and continued practicing the ferocious tiger fist, balancing sword techniques for offense, cultivation techniques for internal energy, and fist techniques for physical strength. Outside his wooden shack, Lin Yun placed his palms on the sword's hilt, which began to hum and vibrate rapidly. The sword seemed to attempt spinning but was restrained by the scabbard lodged in the ground. He closed his eyes, focusing and slowly pouring spirit energy into the blade. A gentle wisp of wind stirred his hair as he activated the wind assembling technique. His eyes sparked as he gripped the hilt, feeling an intense downward force pulling him toward the earth. Only the foundation built by the ferocious tiger fist allowed him to stabilize and lift the sword. After this single attempt, Lin Yun felt drained but studied the sword embedded in the stone, reflecting on the power of wind assembling. He realized that executing the move without drawing the sword limited its strength and acknowledged that in battle, he could not afford the time to accumulate such power. More practice was necessary before he could use the move effectively in combat. Lin Yun concluded that to advance further, he needed to visit the sect's mechanism hall to battle puppets or leave the sect to find real opponents, as experience was essential for improving his swordsmanship. The mechanism hall required money he lacked, so he decided to venture out to hunt beasts, which could be sold for both money and pellets, critical for enhancing his pure yang art cultivation and preventing stagnation. Even mastery of sword techniques was useless without sufficient cultivation backing it. Cloud Horizon Mountain lay behind the Azure Sky sect, part of an extensive mountain range spanning multiple nations, with the Aqua Sky Nation occupying only a portion. Alongside the Azure Sky sect, the Mad Blade sect, Profound Sun sect, and Violet Ember sect also existed, and many disciples from these sects frequented Cloud Horizon Mountain for adventure. Previously, Lin Yun had been forbidden from exploring due to his status as a sword slave, limiting his training opportunities, but now he was free. After gathering his belongings, Lin Yun left his wooden shack and set out toward Cloud Horizon Mountain, only an hour's journey from the sect. The mountain was home to many ferocious beasts and, further in, dangerous demonic beasts mutated by spiritual energy. Though even the weakest demonic beast was comparable to a fifth-stage martial path practitioner and beyond Lin Yun's current strength, he avoided them and hunted more manageable prey. The fur, claws, and meat of these beasts could be sold for income and pellets, but he often found them in groups and had to abandon such encounters when alone. Following the sound of splashing water, Lin Yun discovered a stream feeding into a lake, where water crashed against rocks. Inspired, he connected the imagery of convergent streams and flowing wind to the flowing wind sword technique. He realized the sword might not represent the flow of wind itself but wind resembling flowing water, which explained why others had failed to master it. Closing his eyes, Lin Yun concentrated on the flowing wind sword's image in his mind. Moments later, he drew his sword and leapt into the water. Lin Yun jumped into the stream and was immediately swept away by the torrent, his body soaked through. Upon reaching the shore, he quickly regained his footing, wiping water from his face before plunging back into the current, undeterred. He repeated this cycle countless times, losing track of how many failures he endured, perhaps 100, maybe 1,000. His body was bruised from the relentless impact of the water, but he had grown numb to the pain. Finally, Lin Yun shouted that he had succeeded. His persistence paid off when he managed to secure footing on a rock, resisting the force of the current. A smile spread across his face as he began executing the flowing wind sword technique. He focused on the convergent streams and the flowing wind, his sword dancing within the raging torrent as he attuned himself to the wisps of wind created by the water's movement. Leaping from rock to rock, his swordplay merged with the wind and stream, the sounds of whooshing and swishing accompanying his movements. As he neared the mouth of the stream, about to fall into the lake, the sword in his hand began to rotate violently. Just before touching the lake's surface, Lin Yun roared and lunged his sword forward, shouting the technique's name, "Wind assembling!" The sword's momentum propelled him upward, soaring like a bird just above the lake. The water beneath him split in two as he effortlessly crossed the nearly 100-meter-wide lake. Looking back, Lin Yun saw the walls of water created by his sword converge into a torrential spray before settling back into the lake. Traveling such a distance with the sword confirmed that he had achieved a lesser mastery of the flowing wind sword. He whispered to himself that the technique seemed stronger than the record suggested and that the Azure Skysect's version might be incomplete, with parts still missing. His time spent here had not been wasted. Suddenly, 3 howling roars echoed across the lake, snapping Lin Yun from his reverie. Turning toward the source, he locked eyes with 3 brown iron-clawed wolves, formidable beasts with claws tougher and sharper than steel, capable of tearing out organs with ease. The wolves had been drawn by the commotion and were searching for prey. Lin Yun's smile faded, and his brow furrowed as he clenched his sword, his body trembling with excitement rather than fear. The wolves, sensing something unusual about their prey, leered and howled, unleashing their bloodlust. Both sides remained still, seemingly at a stalemate, but in truth they were testing each other. Lin Yun knew he had only one chance. Failure to eliminate all 3 in a single strike would mean death. He observed the wolves carefully, noting one growing impatient. Taking a step forward, Lin Yun tensed his muscles, prompting the 3 iron-clawed wolves to lunge at him in perfect unison. Remaining calm, Lin Yun burst forth like a torrent, wind following his sword. A spray of blood splattered the surrounding grass as he regained his footing, revealing 3 deep claw marks on his left arm. Behind him, the 3 wolves collapsed, bleeding profusely from their necks, already dead. Approaching the corpses, Lin Yun muttered that he had underestimated their speed and that greater accuracy would have spared him injury. Sheathing his sword, Lin Yun drew a dagger and began harvesting their claws, deciding against taking their fur and meat due to the inconvenience. He concluded that the wind flowing like water confirmed he was on the right path. The near-death experience strengthened Lin Yun's will, allowing him to fully unleash the essence of the flowing wind sword in battle. The technique displayed great lethality, unlike other intermediate sword arts. In just 3 days, Lin Yun gathered a substantial harvest, filling his bag with materials from beasts. Claws from the iron-clawed wolves, a spotted tiger's fur, a shaped bull's horn, and more. Realizing it was inconvenient to carry so much, Lin Yun found a secret spot in the woods to hide the bag, concealing it with leaves and branches before returning to the ground. As he looked back at the well-hidden bag, a dense spiritual aura blew toward him. Surprised, Lin Yun recognized the aura as emanating from a spiritual hotspot, places rich in spiritual energy, usually monopolized by inner disciples and elders of the Azure Sky sect. Intrigued, he decided to investigate. Following the aura, Lin Yun noticed the woods grew eerily quiet, devoid of even the slightest sound of insects or beasts. Clenching his jaw, he steeled himself to press forward, unwilling to miss the opportunity to advance his pure yang art. After half an incense's time, Lin Yun arrived at the source of the spiritual aura. Confirming it was indeed a spiritual spot, Lin Yun noted the spiritual energy was several times denser than usual. Suppressing his excitement, he scanned the area, finding nothing unusual apart from wild plants and grasses. Determined, he resolved to bring his pure yang art to the 2nd stage and leave quickly. In the 10 stages of the martial path, the first 3 stages strengthened the skin, bones, and meridians. The next 3 stages fortified the blood and 5 viscera. The following 3 stages channeled muscles, transformed bones, and changed marrow before reaching the ultimate 10th stage. Each trio of stages marked a significant threshold, but within this spiritual spot, Lin Yun sensed something unusual. Progressing with the pure yang art far faster than usual, the massive surge of internal energy flowing through his body cleared his clogged meridians, accelerating his cultivation. Despite this, Lin Yun remained cautious, aware that improper control of internal energy could cause injuries ranging from damaged meridians to crippled cultivation. After completing a full circulation of pure yang energy, Lin Yun's internal energy condensed into a yellow aura within his dantian, marking his attainment of the 2nd stage of the pure yang art. He suppressed any urge to celebrate, focusing on maximizing his time in the spiritual spot. Absorbing the surrounding spiritual aura at twice the previous rate, his cultivation advanced rapidly. Suddenly, Lin Yun's eyes snapped open, gleaming with joy as he realized 4 hours had passed. His meridians were fully cleared, and he had reached the 4th stage of the martial path. The internal energy in his body felt significantly denser and easier to control. He acknowledged that no spiritual spot in the Azure Sky sect could compare to this one, feeling as if he had hit the jackpot with simultaneous breakthroughs in cultivation and technique. Then, the spiritual aura began to rotate and condense visibly. Lin Yun noticed an unremarkable fruit lying in the grass ahead, absorbing the spiritual aura. He deduced that the fruit was the reason for the dense spiritual energy and was advancing in its growth. Before the fruit could fully absorb the aura, a silhouette flashed past and devoured it. A saber-toothed tiger. This beast, at the fourth stage of the martial path, was a whole level above the iron-clawed wolves. Lin Yun had carefully avoided such creatures before, knowing the vast difference in strength made confrontation suicidal. The saber-toothed tiger raised its head toward Lin Yun, eyes flickering with bloodlust and emitting a cold, demonic aura that sent a shiver down Lin Yun's spine. He realized the beast was evolving into a demonic creature. Panic surged as he recognized his mistake in lingering after the breakthrough instead of leaving immediately. Yet, his legs refused to move, frozen by primal instinct at the predator's gaze. The tiger growled deeply and began approaching slowly, causing sweat to bead on Lin Yun's forehead as he faced imminent death. Despite despair, he resolved not to die without a fight, determined to inflict damage on the beast if he perished. Teeth gritted, he tried to draw his sword, but his limbs remained unresponsive. As the predator roared and pounced, casting a massive shadow over Lin Yun, his fear unexpectedly subsided, replaced by calm. Suddenly able to move again, he recalled the phrase, "Embody the tiger, smell the rose," and drew his sword. Charging the saber-toothed tiger, he struck with his sword imbued with internal energy, but the beast easily swatted it away, revealing the strength gap. Still, the strike briefly halted the tiger, pulling Lin Yun back from the brink of death. He rolled aside to dodge a lethal swipe that shattered a massive tree. Breathing deeply, Lin Yun scanned his surroundings and found no escape. The enraged tiger turned and lunged again. Seeing his sword lodged in a tree, Lin Yun abandoned reliance on it and chose to confront the demonized beast with his mastery of the ferocious tiger fist. When claw met fist, Lin Yun was thrown 10 meters and stumbled back 3 paces, feeling turmoil within his body. Yet, he smiled, fueled by the dense internal energy from the pure yang art enhancing his ferocious tiger fist. He realized he had a chance against the saber-toothed tiger and that defeat was not guaranteed. Reaching the 4th stage of the martial path, he launched into a fierce battle, pushing the ferocious tiger fist to its limits, while picturing the tiger from the painting to resist the demonic aura. The fight began defensively, but gradually the momentum shifted as Lin Yun's fist provoked painful growls from the tiger. His aura, like a king among tigers, suppressed the beast's ferocity. Perfecting his form, Lin Yun seized the opportunity to launch the first offensive move of the ferocious tiger fist. He stepped back, lowered his body, and unleashed the tiger roaring in the forest, his finger joints crackling as he thrust a jab forward. The saber-toothed tiger was sent flying, marking the first advantage Lin Yun had gained in the battle. Lin Yun then executed the ferocious tiger descending the mountains technique, transforming into a tiger as he leapt into the air. With a violent gale trailing his fist, he threw another jab at the struggling saber-toothed tiger. As he punched, Lin Yun felt his blood boiling, as if a fire burned in his chest waiting to be unleashed. Without hesitation, Lin Yun unleashed the 100-beast wave, the strongest move in the ferocious tiger fist. The saber-toothed tiger, still struggling to stand, showed terror in its eyes as Lin Yun charged over. To the beast, Lin Yun was a tool of destruction rather than a wild animal. His fist roared like a sword of unparalleled sharpness cutting through the wind. Lin Yun muttered to himself about the transformation of his ferocious tiger fist, noting the mysterious sword-like quality of his punch and resolving to investigate it further upon his return. Normally, Lin Yun would stand no chance against a demonized saber-toothed tiger, but the image in his mind allowed him to resist the baleful aura, preventing him from being torn apart. At that moment, a faint flicker caught his eye from the tiger's chest. It was a beast core. Lin Yun noted that not every demonic beast possessed one. He understood that once a demonic beast formed a core, it could advance in cultivation like cultivators. An ordinary saber-toothed tiger would be at the pinnacle of the 4th stage of the martial path, but with a core it could break through into the 6th, 7th, or even 10th stage. Lin Feng remarked with a hint of fear that if the beast had not been killed, a beast king might have been born on Cloud Horizon Mountain, likely after consuming a certain fruit. Lin Yun considered the value of the core, noting that even a quasi-demonic beast's core was worth a significant sum, far exceeding his harvest over the past 3 days. Without hesitation, he drew his dagger and cut open the saber-toothed tiger's chest to extract the core. Once removed, the faint glow disappeared, making it look like ordinary rock, but Lin Yun still sensed a powerful spiritual aura as he grasped it. He carefully stored the core in his bag and, feeling no rush to harvest the rest of the corpse, walked to a nearby tree to retrieve his sword, a hint of shame on his face at having lost it. As Lin Yun returned his sword to its sheath, he heard footsteps approaching. Judging by the sound, a group of people was coming. He frowned, wary of being discovered. Before he could react, a group of disciples in Azure Sky sect uniforms appeared. Lin Yun recognized their leader as Chen Xiao, an outer disciple who had previously received sword maintenance from him. Chen Xiao observed the abandoned corpse and speculated that whoever fought the beast must have been heavily injured and left immediately after retrieving the beast core. One of the disciples asked if they should pursue the person, but Chen Xiao dismissed the idea, suggesting they ask any possible witnesses instead. Chen Xiao then noticed Lin Yun and asked if he had seen anyone else pass by. Lin Yun calmly replied that he had seen no one, showing no sign of panic. Chen Xiao scoffed, calling Lin Yun useless trash and ordered him out of sight, his contempt clear. This reaction was exactly what Lin Yun wanted. Chen Xiao was at the 5th stage of the martial path, and the others were at the 4th stage, making it impossible for Lin Yun to confront them all alone. Chen Xiao called out to Lin Yun, tossing his sword to the ground between them and ordering him to perform maintenance on it to save a trip back to the sword-cleaning chamber. Lin Yun refused, stating he was no longer a sword slave. Chen Xiao offered a small share of the demonic beast as payment, provoking a flicker of rage in Lin Yun, who knew the corpse belonged to him. One of Chen Xiao's lackeys suggested giving Lin Yun a beating, while another mocked him, saying if the sword had belonged to Su Xiao, Lin Yun would be begging to maintain it. The group laughed, recalling Lin Yun's past infatuation with Su Xiao. Chen Xiao teased Lin Yun to be obedient, promising to speak to senior sister Su if he performed maintenance. But the group's laughter continued unabated. Lin Feng stared coldly at their jeering faces before walking up and picking up Chen Xiao's sword from the ground. The sword vibrated with a bloody aura, its 2-finger-wide blade adorned with a wavy cloud pattern. Despite bloodstains from recent battles, its sharpness was unmistakable. It was a superb sword, several grades above those distributed in the sect, bordering on a profound artifact. Chen Xiao proudly remarked on the sword's cost, nearly half a year of his savings. Before Chen Xiao could finish, Lin Yun crushed the sword into pieces. The smile froze on Chen Xiao's face as he and the other outer disciples stared dumbfounded. Lin Yun remarked that Chen Xiao had bought a fake sword with his savings, holding out the empty hilt. The mental anguish was clear. Chen Xiao charged at Lin Yun, unleashing his full 5th stage aura and yelling that Lin Yun was dead. Lin Yun was mildly shocked by the pressure, recognizing Chen Xiao was at the pinnacle of the 5th stage, close to breaking through. He calmly greeted the attack without fear, when a ferocious roar suddenly erupted. Just as Chen Xiao was about to reach Lin Yun, a deep roar echoed from the distance, accompanied by a powerful demonic aura that swept over the surroundings. Chen Xiao and the other outer disciples turned pale upon sensing the thick demonic presence. The corpse of the saber-toothed tiger had attracted another demonic beast, drawn by the valuable nourishment it offered. Chen Xiao cursed the sword slave for not harvesting the corpse sooner. He warned Lin Yun to consider himself lucky this time and swiftly retreated, unwilling to risk a fight with the demonic beast. Lin Yun muttered about the mysterious connection between the fist and sword techniques, wondering if it was related to the painting in his mind. He acknowledged that without the image's protection against the baleful aura, he would have stood no chance against the demonized saber-toothed tiger. A faint flicker caught Lin Yun's eye from the chest of the saber-toothed tiger. He recognized it as a beast core, a rare and valuable treasure that allowed demonic beasts to advance in cultivation much like cultivators. Normally, a saber-toothed tiger's strength peaked at the 4th stage of the martial path, but with a core, it could break through to much higher levels. Lin Feng remarked on the danger posed if the beast had survived and formed a core, suggesting it must have done so after consuming a special fruit. Lin Yun retrieved his dagger and carefully cut open the tiger's chest, extracting the core. The faint glow around it vanished, making it appear like ordinary rock, but Lin Yun still sensed its powerful spiritual aura. He stored the core in his bag and, feeling no rush, turned to collect his sword from a nearby tree, a hint of shame crossing his face at having lost it. As he sheathed his sword, Lin Yun heard approaching footsteps and soon saw a group of Azure Sky sect disciples led by Chun Xiao. Lin Yun recognized Chun Xiao as an outer disciple for whom he had performed sword maintenance before. Chun Xiao speculated that whoever had fought the tiger must have been injured and left quickly after taking the beast core, explaining why the corpse was abandoned. When asked whether they should pursue the culprit, Chun Xiao decided to question witnesses instead. Chun Xiao then noticed Lin Yun and asked if he had seen anyone else pass by. Lin Yun calmly denied seeing anyone, causing Chun Xiao to scornfully order him out of sight, showing clear contempt. Chun Xiao called Lin Yun back and threw his sword to the ground between them, requesting sword maintenance to save a trip back to the sword cleaning chamber. Lin Yun refused, stating he was no longer a sword slave. Chun Xiao offered Lin Yun a share of the demonic beast's remains as compensation, which angered Lin Yun since he had killed the tiger and claimed the corpse. One of Chun Xiao's lackeys suggested giving Lin Yun a beating for his attitude, while another mocked his past infatuation with senior sister Su Xiao. The group laughed, ridiculing Lin Yun's previous feelings. Chun Xiao teased Lin Yun to comply, promising to speak on his behalf to senior sister Su if he performed the maintenance. But Lin Yun remained unyielding. Lin Feng, watching the scene, approached and picked up Qin Zhao's sword from the ground. The blade vibrated with a bloody aura, displaying a wavy cloud pattern and sharpness despite the bloodstains. It was clearly a superb sword, far above typical sect-issued weapons, though not a profound artifact. Chun Xiao proudly boasted about the sword's cost, nearly half a year's savings, before Lin Yun abruptly crushed the sword into pieces. The smile froze on Chun Zhao's face as he stared in shock, feeling as if his heart had been ripped out. The other outer disciples looked on dumbfounded. Lin Yun remarked sincerely that Chun Xiao had likely bought a fake sword with his savings, holding out the broken hilt. Chun Xiao roared in fury, his eyes turning crimson as he glared at Lin Yun, the mental anguish of losing his treasured cloud-lined sword evident. He charged at Lin Yun, unleashing his full 5th stage aura, declaring Lin Yun was dead. Lin Yun noted Chun Zhao's pressure indicated he was at the pinnacle of the 5th stage, close to breaking through. He calmly prepared to meet the attack without fear. Just then, a deep roar rang out again from the distance, and a powerful demonic aura swept over the area once more. Chun Xiao and the other disciples went pale at the sudden presence of the demonic beast. The corpse of the saber-toothed tiger had drawn the attention of another demonic beast, a valuable source of nourishment for such creatures. Chun Xiao blamed the sword slave for their failure to harvest the corpse in time. Before swiftly departing, Chun Xiao told the sword slave to consider himself lucky for being let off this time, as he dared not risk his life fighting a demonic beast. Inside the mechanism hall, different levels of puppets mimicked the thoughts and actions of martial practitioners, improving with each fight, making battles against them akin to fighting experts. Lin Yun could handle beasts on Cloud Horizon Mountain, but martial practitioners presented a different challenge. The mechanism hall was divided into 2 sections, one for outer disciples and a more spacious, less crowded inner section. No outer disciple dared to enter the inner section. Upon Lin Yun's arrival, many outer disciples noticed him. They whispered among themselves, recognizing Lin Yun as the sword slave who had recently become an outer disciple and had defeated Zhou Ping in front of many people. His reputation for sword cleaning and his feelings for Su Xiao were well known. Some doubted his skill, betting he wouldn't last long against the mechanism hall's puppets. Ignoring them, Lin Yun chose an open training stage and stepped onto it. A battle puppet in the corner activated immediately, brandishing its sword with surprising speed. By the time Lin Yun unsheathed his sword, the puppet was already upon him. Their swords clashed, forcing Lin Yun back and nearly causing him to fall off the stage. Laughter erupted from the surrounding disciples. The puppet mercilessly swung again, and Lin Yun, nearly defeated, circulated his pure yang art to maintain his footing. Spectators noted he was barely holding his ground, attributing his endurance to the use of internal energy, confident he would soon exhaust it and face a miserable defeat. Lin Yun then unleashed convergent streams, flowing wind, launching a relentless assault on the puppet. Within 20 moves, he forced the puppet offstage. Lin Yun sheathed his sword and descended the stage with a satisfied grin, acknowledging his progress against the beginner puppet but recognizing its middling strength. He applied to challenge an intermediate puppet for better training. Suddenly, applause broke the silence as Chen Xiao appeared at the hall's entrance with his group of lackeys. Chen Xiao mockingly praised Lin Yun's talent in the way of swords, noting his recent victory over a beginner puppet despite only a few days of training. His lackeys pushed aside the crowd and surrounded Lin Yun. The crowd murmured in concern, aware of Chen Xiao's reputation for cruelty beneath a polite facade and wary of provoking him. Lin Yun responded politely, but Chen Xiao insisted he would spar with him and guide him in the way of the sword, lowering his cultivation to Lin Yun's level. He offered 3 body refining pellets as a reward if Lin Yun could withstand 100 moves from him. Chen Xiao tossed the bottle toward Lin Yun, refusing to accept refusal. The crowd grew as more outer disciples realized the confrontation. Chen Xiao challenged Lin Yun, accusing him of looking down on him for hesitating to accept the pellets, and released his 5th stage aura, exerting powerful pressure. Suddenly, a commotion arose as Su Xiao and Wang Ning appeared at the mechanism hall entrance. Su Xiao, dressed in azure and radiating cold beauty, drew all eyes. Wang Ning, an inner disciple who had accompanied her to collect her sword, stood beside her with graceful presence. Lin Yun's heart fluttered upon seeing Su Xiao, recognizing her as a girl blessed with exceptional beauty and cultivation talent, the strongest inner disciple in the sect at a young age. In the Aquasky Nation, few could compare to her. Lin Yun understood why the previous owner of his body had been mocked for his infatuation, but his own feelings had faded. Su Xiao's arrival shifted the crowd's gaze to Lin Yun. He maintained his composure but felt uncomfortable. Adopting a solemn expression, he lowered his head and began to walk away. Chen Xiao called after him, refusing to let him leave, and his lackeys moved to block Lin Yun's path. Lin Yun warned Chen Xiao not to push him. Chen Xiao insisted he was only offering help and guidance in the way of the sword. He claimed that if Lin Yun declined, he couldn't let him save face and demanded Lin Yun admit before everyone that he only accepted rewards from senior sister Su and no one else. Chen Xiao's tone forced a confession from Lin Yun. Su Xiao remained indifferent, but Lin Yun faced humiliation. He imagined Su Xiao coldly rejecting him while the crowd jeered, stirring an intense anguish lingering from the original owner's memories as a sword slave. Lin Yun glanced at the mocking faces around him and took a deep breath to center himself. The sword-cleaning chamber's disciples looked down on him. Even Zhou Ping exploited him. The previous owner had questioned whether falling for someone was wrong, and Lin Yun would have told him that everyone had a soft spot, and feelings were natural. Lin Yun resolved to guard the original owner's last dignity. Chen Xiao squinted and smiled, reluctantly accepting Lin Yun's challenge. His smile turned sinister as he recalled Zhou Yun had hired him to teach Lin Yun a lesson in exchange for 3 body refining pellets, with Zhou Yun handling any consequences. Chen Xiao had wanted to kill Lin Yun ever since the sword was broken on Cloud Horizon Mountain and seized this opportunity. The surrounding disciples spread out, creating an empty space for the fight. Lin Yun narrowed his gaze and unleashed his aura with explosive force. His cultivation aura in the fourth stage of the martial path erupted alongside his pure yang art internal energy, unsettling the crowd. Disciples murmured in awe, noting Lin Yun's rapid advancement from the third to the fourth stage in just days, explaining his fearlessness toward Chen Xiao. Chen Xiao admitted Lin Yun had tricks but questioned his chances of victory. Chen Xiao then released his own aura, suppressing his cultivation to the fourth stage as agreed, though his aura remained more robust, reflecting his higher cultivation level. The crowd doubted Lin Yun's chances, noting Chen Xiao's superiority in cultivation and mastery of the advanced Berserk Lightning Sword technique. They predicted Lin Yun wouldn't last 3 moves. Jeers urged Lin Yun to stop pretending bravery. Chen Xiao laughed, suggesting Lin Yun comply to avoid trouble. Lin Yun responded calmly, mocking Chen Xiao's trash talk, which infuriated Chen Xiao. He vowed to silence Lin Yun's arrogance and sprang into action, emanating murderous intent. His sword rang sharply as he drew it, then roared thunderously as he leapt and struck downward like lightning. An onlooker identified the attack as the Berserk Lightning Sword, known for its lethal violence. A violent wind surged around Chen Xiao as he moved, embodying a storm, yet his heart remained calm. Lin Yun remained unimpressed, noting Chen Xiao's initial mastery and flawed movements. He judged Chen Xiao's technique insufficient to defeat him and closed his eyes to center himself, circulating the pure yang art. As Chen Xiao's blade neared, Lin Yun opened his eyes, drew his sword, and summoned a violent gale that stung Chen Xiao's eye, breaking his focus. The crowd was caught off guard as Lin Yun gripped his sword with both hands and delivered a powerful overhead chop. A wave of wind surged from the blade, and the swords collided with an explosive roar that sent Chen Xiao sliding backward. Chen Xiao was stunned by the power of Lin Yun's sword technique. Realizing he couldn't win while suppressing his cultivation, he prepared to unleash his true strength. Before he could act, Lin Yun spun his sword, drawing in a fierce gale and lunged swiftly. Chen Xiao watched in fear as Lin Yun's sword rapidly expanded and reached his chest before he could activate his fifth stage cultivation. Chen Xiao froze, as did the outer disciples, all in disbelief. Lin Yun declared Chen Xiao defeated. Chen Xiao roared that he would never lose and unleashed his fifth stage martial path aura, breaking their agreement. Chen Xiao's lackeys cried out in shock at Lin Yun's ruthlessness. Leaving the sword embedded, Lin Yun delivered swift kicks to each of Chen Xiao's legs, producing cracking sounds. Horror spread rapidly through the crowd as they realized the sword slave they had mocked was capable of such brutality. Lin Yun withdrew the sword from Chen Xiao's chest, causing blood to spurt rhythmically as Chen Xiao's muscles spasmed. Lin Yun flourished the sword before sheathing it, wiping the blood from the blade and spraying Chen Xiao's lackeys in the process. He glanced briefly at the crowd, then walked over to pick up the bottle of body-refining pellets. The mechanism hall fell silent. Someone suddenly exclaimed that the sword must be the flowing wind sword, a technique not successfully used in over a century. Others confirmed that Lin Yun's last move resembled one of the flowing wind sword's offensive techniques, wind assembling, and speculated that Lin Yun must have achieved lesser mastery of the technique, which was categorized as intermediate but more powerful than a standard advanced sword technique once mastered. The crowd realized Lin Yun was far from a simple sword slave. Lin Yun suspected Chen Xiao had been sent to cause trouble and prepared to leave the hall. A cold voice from behind halted him, demanding to know who allowed him to go. The commotion ceased instantly. Sensing a lethal threat, Lin Yun dodged instinctively and turned to throw a punch at his attacker, channeling the 100-beast wave. His fist fused with his inner sword, releasing a fierce gale. When his fist connected with the attacker's, Lin Yun groaned as the impact nearly broke his arm. Blood sprayed from his mouth as he was sent flying across the room. He was fortunate his fist absorbed most of the force. After several attempts, Lin Yun regained his footing a few feet from Su Ziao. Avoiding eye contact, he shifted his gaze to the approaching attacker, who wore an indifferent expression and resembled Zhou Ping. The outer disciples gasped as they recognized Zhou Yun, ranked among the top 10 and absent due to preparation for the mid-year test. Someone helped Chen Xiao to his feet, ordering Zhou Yun to kill Lin Yun. Chen Xiao glared with murderous intent, filled with humiliation over his defeat by a sword slave. Despite having used 70% of his strength in the surprise attack, Zhou Yun doubted Lin Yun's ability to withstand it, especially since Lin Yun was only in the 4th stage of the martial path. Zhou Yun stood over Lin Yun, accusing him of being gutsy for injuring a fellow disciple during a sparring match and demanding he cripple his own cultivation to spare his life. Zhou Yun unleashed the aura of his 7th stage martial path cultivation, causing immense pressure that made Lin Yun feel crushed. When Lin Yun remained standing, Zhou Yun coldly ordered him to kneel, increasing his aura. Lin Yun's legs trembled under the pressure, feeling like a tiny insect before Zhou Yun, uncertain how much longer he could endure. Lin Yun defiantly declared that the only people he would kneel before were his parents, refusing to submit despite the pain and strain. The surrounding disciples watched in silent horror, aware that Zhou Yun was far beyond their reach and that Lin Yun had been forced into this fight by Chen Xiao's provocation. Zhou Yun threatened to shatter Lin Yun's knees and cripple his cultivation if he did not kneel. As Zhou Yun advanced, the pressure intensified, bringing Lin Yun to the verge of collapse. Suddenly, the pressure vanished. Zhou Yun's eyes widened in confusion as Su Ziao, who had been watching the scene, dispersed the pressure. When Zhou Yun objected, Su Ziao ordered him to leave, her status as an inner sect elite making her authority unquestionable. Wang Ning stood beside Su Ziao with a mocking smile, warning Zhou Yun that if he intended to bully someone, he should consider who was backing them. Zhou Yun's face darkened with humiliation, and though he wanted to retaliate, he clenched his jaw and left the hall. Lin Yun called after him, still shaken. Zhou Yun roared in response, demanding to know what he wanted. Lin Yun confidently challenged Zhou Yun to a duel in 2 months to cleanse the humiliation of today. Zhou Yun sneered that it was Lin Yun's funeral and left the mechanism hall, raising a hand in acknowledgement but too preoccupied with his own humiliation to care about the challenge. Su Ziao's sudden interference ended the confrontation abruptly, lightening the mood. Many in the crowd glanced at Lin Yun with newfound understanding, realizing his fearlessness stemmed from Su Ziao's backing. Though she had spoken only 2 words, those words carried more weight than anyone else's presence. Lin Yun thanked Su Ziao for her help but felt conflicted. In the past, he would have endured humiliation and cultivated silently rather than challenge Zhou Yun recklessly. However, seeing Su Ziao made him unable to bear the humiliation. Su Ziao turned sharply, telling him he was on his own before leaving without looking back. Lin Yun's composed heart was unsettled for the first time in a long while. His nails dug into his palm as he struggled to regain control of his thoughts. WNG Ning mocked his temper and warned him to remember his status as a sword slave and not to overreach. After calmly analyzing his situation, Lin Yun muttered that he could not stay any longer, at least not for now. Zhou Yun would continue to pursue him, and with his 4th stage cultivation, he stood no chance against someone at the 7th stage. If Chen Xiao had not suppressed his cultivation, Lin Yun's odds would have been only 50-50. Sighing softly, Lin Yun recalled the previous day's events. Zhou Yun's oppressive strength, Su Ziao's indifference, and Yu Ning's disdain. Bitterness crept into his heart as he was reminded of his powerlessness. Gazing at a painting given by Senior Hong, inscribed with "Embody the Tiger, Smell the Rose," Lin Yun's heart throbbed as a realization dawned. In both the sect and the world, the strong were respected and the weak trampled. Clenching his fist, he replaced helplessness with unwavering determination and promised himself he would return in 2 months. The administration hall buzzed with activity, serving as the place where disciples claimed funds and accepted missions. The usual bustle hushed as more disciples recognized Lin Yun's presence. Word had spread overnight of his defeat of Chen Xiao with a single sword stroke, his endurance against Zhou Yun's blow, and his successful cultivation of the flowing wind sword. The stark transformation from lowly sword slave to formidable contender was the talk of the sect, along with renewed gossip about his relationship with Su Ziao. Lin Yun approached Administrator Yang and requested 2 months' worth of funds in advance and some missions. Administrator Yang stared in disbelief at the transformed Lin Yun before quickly complying, handing over 2 months' funds, 2 body refining pellets, and 100 taels of gold. Though gold held little value for powerful martial practitioners, the body refining pellets were a significant boon, bringing Lin Yun's total to 5. Administrator Yang asked if Lin Yun was truly going to challenge Zhou Yun in 2 months, noting that Lin Yun likely intended to strengthen himself by accepting missions and avoid trouble by being away from the sect. Lin Yun grew wary, suspecting the administrator might cause difficulties again. Administrator Yang assured him that the hall master had intervened and promised no interference this time, then inquired whether Lin Yun preferred ordinary or spiritual stone missions. Surprised, Lin Yun learned that spiritual stone missions existed, typically reserved for inner disciples but occasionally left unclaimed. Administrator Yang presented 3 such missions: kill 3 flaming ink tigers for 200 low-grade spiritual stones, harvest 10 blood lilies in the 100-flower valley near Cloud Horizon Mountain, and hunt down the brutal bandit Kuang Yen, near the 7th stage, for 500 low-grade spiritual stones. Lin Yun considered the ordinary missions but chose the 3 spiritual stone missions despite their difficulty, drawn by their valuable rewards. Administrator Yang reminded him that the Azure Sky Sect's mid-year test was in 2 months and failure to return in time would mean automatic failure. Lin Yun nodded in acknowledgement and thanked him. As Lin Yun prepared to leave, Administrator Yang softly asked if he had really cultivated the flowing wind sword. Lin Yun admitted he had only achieved lesser mastery and had not fully grasped it yet, leaving Administrator Yang dumbfounded. The administrator had doubted Lin Yun's ability to cultivate it and never expected such rapid progress. Judging by Lin Yun's modest attitude, he seemed unaware of how impressive his feat was. Administrator Yang sighed, grateful for the hall master's earlier intervention and hoping to avoid further conflict with the boy. Shortly after Lin Yun left the sect, Chun Xiao and his lackeys arrived at Lin Yun's wooden shack, searching for something. They tore through his belongings but found nothing valuable. Chun Xiao cursed their bad luck, realizing Lin Yun had anticipated their arrival. Frustrated by his prior losses, the cloudline sword and the body refining pellets, Chun Xiao ordered his men to burn the shack to the ground, vowing to find Lin Yun and mocking his pride for possibly missing the mid-year test. Lin Yun spent 2 days traveling on horseback before reaching the deep mountain range surrounding Cloud Horizon Mountain. Now outside the sect, he faced new dangers, including the very objective of his mission: demonic beasts. Unlike the outer areas he had previously traveled, the deep mountains teemed with demonic beasts, rumored to be as strong as 5th-stage martial path practitioners. Their intense bloodlust made even seasoned practitioners fearful. Lin Yun had accepted the mission to harvest blood lilies despite his growing apprehension. To cleanse himself of his defeat by Zhou Yun and repay Su Xiao, he needed to push himself further. The kindness Su Xiao had shown weighed heavily on him, fueling his determination to repay her. Consulting the map, Lin Yun saw he was near the 100-flower valley, but the terrain was rough and unpredictable. Without a guide, finding the valley was slow and arduous. He furrowed his brow, assessing the situation. The mission's difficulty explained why it had gone unaccepted. The valley was massive, and searching flower by flower would take over half a month. Time he could not spare without risking missing the mid-year test. The mid-year tournament determined outer disciple rankings, which affected sect funding and chances of promotion to inner disciple status. Lin Yun resolved to first acclimate himself to the area as he entered the field. He waded through the flowers, letting his mind drift. A whole day passed without progress, unnoticed until sunset. The next day mirrored the first. Lin Yun scoured the field flower by flower, hoping to find blood lilies. Despite the monotony, he remained diligent, allowing his mind to wander without sacrificing efficiency. 7 days passed in this manner. On the 8th day, just as he resigned himself to another tedious day, he caught a faint but distinct metallic scent on the breeze. It was blood. The sharp odor cut through the valley's sickly sweetness, signaling he had found his target. Lin Yun kept his guard up while tracking the scent. The valley's constant breeze often mixed or dispersed scents, causing setbacks. Several times he lost the trail and had to wait or backtrack until he caught it again. Determined, he pressed on. Suddenly, the smell of blood intensified, drowning out all other scents. The source came from one of the large rocks scattered throughout the field. Lin Yun had used some as vantage points before but couldn't recall if this was one of them. Excited by the lead, he approached. He crouched above a flower and noted its shade, realizing blood lilies needed shade to grow, which narrowed potential locations. Absorbed in his discovery, he failed to notice the shade's shape changing. Just as he reached to pluck the flower, his senses surged. He looked up in time to see a massive python rearing back to strike. His face paled as he rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding the attack. The python's whip-like tail caught him, sending him flying with bone-jarring force. He glimpsed the python's head, larger than himself, with a fiery red stripe down its gray back before it vanished into the flowers. It was a flaming blood python, a fifth-stage martial path demonic beast. Lin Yun realized the snake had camouflaged itself near the rock, using the blood scent to lure prey, a deadly trap he had nearly fallen into. The python hissed, unleashing a killing aura that pressed down on Lin Yun with power equal to Zhou Yun's spiritual pressure. Struggling under the burden, he doubted how he could fight the beast. Suddenly, the image of the ferocious tiger from the scroll appeared in his mind. Focusing on it weakened the python's killing aura, restoring some mobility. Drawing his sword, Lin Yun's anxiety grew. He had to kill the python to harvest the blood lily and could not retreat. He executed the flowing wind sword during the momentary lull, striking the python cleanly. The blow felt like hitting iron. His wooden sword was too dull to penetrate the python's scales. Realizing his sword was insufficient, Lin Yun abandoned it and switched to the ferocious tiger fist. The python flew into a rage, launching a flurry of attacks that left Lin Yun no time to react. He circulated his internal energy using the pure yang art and calmly executed the ferocious tiger fist to create space between them. Thus, a man and a python engaged in a chase among the flowers. Lin Yun felt his internal energy drain with each punch but could not harm the python significantly. He discovered the python's weakness was its fiery stripe, yet its thick scales absorbed most blows. After 2 hours, Lin Yun was drenched in sweat and depleted of internal energy. The ferocious tiger fist consumed more energy than even the pure yang art could replenish. Continuing the fight risked death by exhaustion. Reluctantly, Lin Yun chose to flee, unwilling to die battling a snake. Accepting defeat made focusing on running easier. The python pursued him for 15 miles until he reached the treeline, where it finally gave up. After confirming the python was no longer chasing him, Lin Yun collapsed beneath a tree, covered in scrapes and bruises. The spiritual stone mission was truly difficult, explaining why it remained unclaimed. The battle had been perilous, and Lin Yun had nearly lost his life. He lay beneath the leaves, staring at the sun, reflecting on his defeat after searching the 100-Flower Valley fruitlessly for 7 days. Despite giving his best, the presence of a demonic beast guarding the blood lily made the mission impossible. Lin Yun raised his right arm to shield his eyes from the blazing sunlight before exhaustion overtook him. An hour and a half later, nearly recovered, he looked up to see 3 faces drifting among the clouds. The first was Zhou Yun, his expression grim and eyes flickering with murderous intent, questioning whether Lin Yun truly wanted to challenge him in just 2 months. Next appeared Wen Jining, wearing a smug grin and mocking Lin Yun as a sword slave who should know his place and stop dreaming. Lastly, Su Ziyao's indifferent face appeared, aloof as ever, delivering the cold words, "You're on your own." Lin Yun muttered the phrase repeatedly, rage rising within him as he rejected their dismissal. The previous owner of his body had harbored a one-sided crush on Su Ziyao, hidden deep in his heart, enduring beyond death, but she had only ever responded with cold words and dismissive looks. When the 3 faces faded, Lin Yun clenched his fists to quell his fury. Finding it insufficient, he stood and headed directly toward the blood lily. After half an incense's time, he returned to where he had left his sword and nearly lost his balance attempting to lift it. The sword had become significantly heavier. Circulating his internal energy, Lin Yun finally pulled the sword free. Holding it with both hands, he noticed the markings on the blade had changed, and upon closer inspection, he could almost discern a woman waving at him. 2 words were clearly inscribed on the sword.